Welcome to Live Your Best Midlife. I'm your host, Jill Lewis. Join me for inspiring pep talks and expert interviews as we explore staying active, feeling great, and embracing midlife adventures. Whether you're an empty nester, a pickleball enthusiast, or just ready to rediscover your vibrant self, this podcast is for you. Let's make our mid-years our best years. Now, on to the show. Hi there. Welcome back to the podcast. This is your host, Jill Lewis. Thank you for being here. It really does mean a lot to me that you are spending some of your time with me, listening to whether it be my pep talks about something with health and wellness, maybe it's an interview with some industry expert, or it's just me talking about life and what's going on. I do appreciate that you're allowing me to keep you company. That's like my favorite thing about podcasts. I think it's just keeping each other company and getting into deeper dives on things. Social media, like when I started this podcast, how many years ago has this been now? We're on over episode, I think this is episode 107 or 8. When I started the podcast, I did it because social media, it's like I'm trying to grab people's attention in 7 seconds, and it can feel a little disingenuous after a while because I feel so much of it is repetitive. I like this form so much better. I like this long form media, basically, where we can take a deeper dive on something and you can get to know me better too. And know where I'm coming from, where my heart is, really like what I'm trying to share with you better than I ever could on an 8-second reel. So the only thing I will say this, I do love on social media. I do like sharing recipes there, but I have to say my favorite form of media for me is the podcast, and it's my blog. So if you haven't checked out my blog, it's on my website, jilllewisliving.com. And it's really easy to navigate. I love my website. I'm really happy with how that turned out. It's been a work in progress over the years. And I feel like right now where it is what I'm really enjoying. So when you go to jilllewisliving.com, you can check out all of my blog posts. There's a lot of travel blogs on there. There's all my recipes I put on there. So if you ever see something on social media and you're like, wait a minute, where can I find that recipe in depth? If you just go to the website, to the blog, you'll find it there. And you can, I just have all kinds of stuff. Plus, I have a lot of freebies on there. So if there's ever any free guides that you're wanting to try out of mine, good chance they're going to be there in the website. Plus, of course, all my information about the faster way. And there's links to this actual podcast. So yeah, that is my favorite, the long form. So today I thought I'm going to probably be a little bit all over the place, but I want to talk to you a lot about my weekend because I got to visit more travel, but I got to visit a state I had never been to in our wonderful country, and that is the state of Connecticut. Connect-I-cut. I figured out how to spell it. Connect-I-cut. So Connecticut was beautiful. It was giving Gilmore Girls the whole time. The colors were changing. The weather was totally fall. We just kept saying, this is quintessential fall, is what the weekend felt like. But we were there for a family wedding. One of my nephews, my sister's oldest son, got married. It was beautiful. It was in a beautiful church in New Haven, Connecticut. And the reception was just spectacular. Everything was, in my view, just absolutely perfect. And it was great to just see some family I hadn't seen in a long time, and got to meet the bride or the bride's family. So it was great. And we got to do some sightseeing too. But before all of that, let me tell you about how I screwed up so bad on our travel plans. Okay. So I pride myself on really thinking through. I'm very detail oriented when it comes to our travels. And usually I'm the one that's kind of booking all of the flights and the rental cars and anything you could possibly need. And I'm trying to think it through. I like to fly as direct as possible. I cannot stand having to, if I don't have to change planes, I'm not going to. I would rather pay a little more to fly directly than have to, switch planes and have a layover and that sort of thing. But when you live in the middle of the country in a very rural area, you are going to have to just know that you're going to have to deal with more layovers than you want to. So We have a tiny airport in our hometown that does have a flight to Chicago's O'Hare Airport. And it's wonderful. We flew that up, my son and my husband and I. We flew early Thursday morning. It's like a 7 a.m. flight. It's probably before that, 6:30 a.m. flight. I can't remember. And you fly straight to O'Hare. It's so easy and seamless. I love it. And we just had carry-on bags. Okay. So we fly there, and when you fly from Southern Illinois into O'Hare, you land in Terminal 3. Terminal 3 is great because you can connect to a lot of, if you're doing like American Airlines or Alaskan Airlines, you can check your bags all the way through from our little connector flight, and it's great. But we weren't flying that since we were going to the East Coast. We were going to have to get a different airline I've never flown before, which was Avelo, Avelo, Avelo Airlines. We've never done that, but they had a flight from Chicago straight to New Haven, which was perfect. And we had a rental car ready to go in New Haven. Okay. But it was going to be a very long layover in Chicago. So in my mind, I'm thinking, this will be fine. My son's girlfriend lives in Chicago. We're going to meet up with her. Also, so when you fly into Terminal 3, that's where you connect to the metro that takes you into Chicago, into downtown. Anyone from Southern Illinois that listens to this podcast, I want to assure you that is super safe to do. You get on the blue line. All you have to do, you get off of the airplane there in Chicago, you go down to the bottom level, all the signs, train to the city, train to the city. You get in there, you just tap your credit card on the scanner. You don't have to buy a ticket. It's less than $5 and gets you downtown. It's so simple to do. Okay. So that's what we did. And I'm telling you, because Ubering is so expensive from the airport to downtown. My son's girlfriend, she lives it was like a 20-minute train ride for us. So very easy to do. So take the blue line. She picks us up really close to the train station. And right when we're getting in the vehicle, in her car, we're like, hey, we get a text from Avelo Airlines that there's a technical issue with the plane, that the plane is at least 3 hours delayed. Well, it wasn't leaving already until after like 5 o'clock. So now the plane wasn't going to be leaving until after 8 o'clock. We wouldn't be getting into New Haven, Connecticut until like at this point, probably wouldn't be getting to our hotel until like midnight. That's if it's going to go. And I'm like, I'm not feeling good about this. My son is a groomsman in the wedding. So we still had to pick up his tux, and we still needed to, and the wedding was the next day because the wedding was on a Friday. I'm like, I don't feel good about this. None of us felt good about it. And sometimes that's a tough thing when you're traveling. You're like, what do we do? There's no more flights to New Haven. I got online and I looked. There's no other option with Avelo Airlines. There's no guarantee that we're even going to make it out tonight. There's other flights that fly direct from O'Hare to Hartford, which is an hour from New Haven. And I'm like, oh, what do you guys think? I feel like we just need to, since the delay was over 3 hours, we can get a full refund from Avelo, and would just put that money towards this super expensive flight that I'm getting ready to book. I could either book, I think it was like Southwest or United. And yes, it was going to cost a lot more money, but I thought we got to get there. We can't leave this a chance. Like, what if the flight doesn't go off tonight, and then we're really screwed and we can't miss the wedding. You're in the wedding, the bridal party. Okay. So that's what I decided to do. I just said, well, all right, I'm going to cancel the Avelo flight. We're going to book it on United. This is all happening in the car. You know me, and I've got like my glasses, and we're driving I said, all right. So I booked a 2 p.m. flight from O'Hare to Hartford. And I said, when we get to Hartford, we'll figure out, between now and then, we'll figure out how we're going to get from Hartford to New Haven, because our rental car was at the New Haven airport. Okay. This all sounds good. Now, what originally was going to be a super relaxing day, we were going to, my son's girlfriend was going to pick us up. We were going to go back to her apartment. We were going to go downtown, meet my 2 nephews that work downtown. We were going to meet them by the river, take them out to lunch. We were going to go to my son's girlfriend's office building, which is like one of the most beautiful buildings on the river, downtown Chicago, and go up to the very, very top terrace level, because there's a really good view of the city there. And we were just going to chill. It's going to be a really pretty fall day. So that wasn't going to work out. So we let my nephews know we can't go to lunch because we have a 2 p.m. flight.
Then we were like, well, we'll go to breakfast. So my son is like, this is an awesome breakfast spot in Wicker Park. We're going to go here. And we're super excited and we're all hungry. So we get into the restaurant. We had just ordered our coffee. Now we're kind of like getting ready to order our food. The coffee comes, and my husband looks at his phone and goes, wait a minute. My phone says we're leaving in less than 2 hours. And I'm going, what? Wait, what? And I mean, I was so overstimulated at this point. My brain was frying. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't make these kinds of mistakes. What? And we're all getting on our phones and we realize, no, I did not book a 2 p.m. flight. I booked an 11:15 a.m. flight. It got in at around 2 p.m. I think in my brain, I had switched. Like I was thinking, I know the Southwest flight was leaving at 2, and I honestly don't know. I really don't. And I can't believe I did it. And when I make these kind of mistakes, like, oh, I'm so hard on myself. I was so distraught. I felt so bad because we had to miss breakfast. So we had to tell our waiter, like, we got to go. So we had to pay for the coffee. He gave us to go cups, which is really sweet. Jump back into my son's girlfriend's car. Go back over to, because she has to now park in her neighborhood on the street. We get our bags out. Oh, and then because I was like trying to rush, so I opened the back. Well, I didn't realize all the luggage was her top of her bag came flying out, landed in mud. And then she picked up the bag. Oh my gosh, it's got mud on it. Then that mud got on her jeans. And I was just like, this is all my fault. She's so chill. She's like, whatever, girl, I don't care. And then so they get an Uber. Took a couple minutes to get the Uber. Thankfully, there was no traffic on the way to O'Hare. We get there, we get through security. I was able to get us all a sandwich and we get on the plane. Of course, we all had to sit separate and we all had middle seats because we probably got like the last four seats on this plane because the plane was completely filled. And we get to Hartford. It was fine. We get to Hartford and we were trying to figure out how we could switch our rental car to pick up a car in Hartford instead of New Haven. Couldn't do it. There were no rental cars. So we had to Uber another again. I mean, I'm just like throwing money at this day is pretty much what I did. So we had to Uber to New Haven. So we get in the Uber and while I'm doing this, I'm realizing I'm looking at the map and I'm like, oh, the good news is we can pick up Brendan's tux along the way. So we Ubered from Hartford Airport to this bridal shop where you tux rental place. And so we pick up and he gets fitted for his tux, and which thankfully it was great because they, had to totally take the arms out and shorten the legs. It was a whole thing. So got that done, got another Uber, took that into to the New Haven airport to pick up our rental car there. And by that point, we're so over Ubers at this point. So we get our rental car, we go to our hotel, we get checked in, we kind of clean up a little bit. All this while, I'm thinking in my mind, I am not going to text or tell my sister any of this. My sister is the mother of the groom. They are having the rehearsal dinner. She already knew we were going to miss the rehearsal dinner, but we were going to be coming in right after the rehearsal dinner and like meet up and have a drink and whatever. I'm like, I'm not changing that. She probably already has like all the seating and the tables and the numbers, and we're not screwing that up because I don't want to put anything else on her plate. I think that's an important thing for everyone to realize. Like, when you are the one that is one of the main players in a wedding weekend, you don't need other people adding extra snafus into the plan. So I was like, we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. We'll just show up as normal. So we're there. And the cool thing about New Haven, which we really didn't know until a few days beforehand, was that it's the pizza capital of our country. Did you know that? It's the pizza capital of our country. New Haven is known for these amazing a pizza. And it's like that Neapolitan style, very, thin and crispy crust. So good. So we went and got pizza. That made everybody feel better. And then we went over and met with everyone at the rehearsal dinner. And they had just finished eating. So it was great timing. We were there to hear the toasts and participate in all of that and have some drinks and visit. And so that was all great. And then the next morning, my husband and we got up early. We went and got coffee. New Haven's very cute and it's, lively downtown, but it's literally right. Like Yale is downtown New Haven and beautiful. I mean, what a beautiful campus. And so we had a really nice walk. It was brisk. It was chilly. And so we walked all over campus. And then we walked to breakfast, had a great breakfast at a local spot. I'll do a whole blog post on my time in Connecticut. But yeah, that was fantastic. And then I dropped Brendan off with all the groomsmen. My sister rented the most beautiful Airbnb in New Haven. It was lovely. So that's where all the groomsmen were, and so he was able to get ready with them and have breakfast with them. And then we all got ready for the wedding. The wedding was at like 3 o'clock on a Friday. It was a Catholic, beautiful Catholic wedding, and then the reception was spectacular. Oh my gosh, it was just everything. I was just so happy for my sister and her son and the bride's family. It just was perfect. I have to say, my one of the coolest things that I've seen the morning after the wedding, the bride's family, because so many people are coming from out of town, and they had a kind of an open house brunch at their home. But what I thought was so genius is that they hired a food truck that set out in their driveway. So when you walked up, you immediately ordered your breakfast. It could be a sandwich. I had a breakfast burrito. It was delicious. I can't even describe how good this food was. Everybody loved it. So you ordered that, and then you kind of walked back around in their house. I'm telling you, the trees, the fall colors, their backyard was beautiful. You go inside, and the mother of the bride had this whole coffee bar set up on her island, and then there was an area that had tons of fruit and donuts, and then there was water and juice, and it was just and everyone was just, it was casual, it was relaxed, and it was so fun. I just thought that was the food truck idea, blew my mind. What a wonderful thing to do where you don't have to be slaving away in the kitchen, but everyone is happy. All she had to do was she was replenishing the coffee. So that was fantastic. Another thing I thought was really cool that the bride's family did, the venue where the wedding reception was gorgeous. So the chandeliers, everything was so nice that it really didn't need much decorating, but all the tables had very pretty arrangements, all like white cream flowers. But the bride's moms, the sisters, the aunts, they were the ones that did all of the centerpieces. So they had all of the flowers delivered to their house, and then they put every centerpiece together. I think they even did all the flowers like that week of the wedding, which I thought was pretty incredible. I don't know that I could do that, but man, I bet they saved so much money doing that. And what a fun activity all week long. So I really enjoyed hearing that. And I was I peeked in the garage, and I could see where they had all of the flower stations in there. So that was really neat. And, oh, and then at the reception, what I love so much, and my whole family, my mom and my Aunt Marcia were really into votive candles, and I loved that this wedding had my cousins and I called them VCs. The VCs were everywhere. The votive candles all over the tables, down the staircase. There were so many candles everywhere, and I just think that adds such a fun ambiance and the glow, and it's so simple and so much more affordable, and it was just beautiful everywhere. So it was great. So after we did the brunch the next day, my husband and my son and his girlfriend, we kind of went exploring. So we drove up an hour north to Mystic. And if you're my age or older, you've heard of Mystic Pizza, the movie. And of course, I was like, well, we got to go in and eat. So we went in, and the pizza is good. I mean, I don't think it's as good as like the traditional Neapolitan style that Connecticut or in the Northeast is known for, but it was good. It was fine. But it was just kind of fun to say like, oh yeah, I've been there. And we walked all around, adorable town. And then we went down to Essex, which is also equally cute town. We went to a pumpkin patch that was between Mystic and Essex. That was really cute. They had little pigs, and that was just fun, like such a fall thing to do. And we were going to go to the coast, and we were all just kind of over it at that point. And so then we went back. I was able to get a workout in. You know how I feel about that. Since I was eating all the pizza, I was like, yes, got my leg day workout in. And that night we went downtown and we had Thai food, which was fantastic. Then we went to my sister's, and hung out at the Airbnb. We watched the Notre Dame USC game. You know, we're all huge Notre Dame fans. Notre Dame pulled out a victory. So that was a lot of fun. And then we flew out yesterday. And you know, travel is like you hope for the best, but I think it's always good to expect the worst because you just never know. So we flew a Velo, worked out great, from New Haven to Chicago, but our layover was tight in Chicago. Now, here's the thing. When you get into O'Hare, because we're on this little airline, they brought us into Terminal 5, which is like the international terminal. Well, to get to Terminal 3 is kind of you have to leave the security area and you got to go back through like you have to leave the area and you got to go back through security again, which was very uncool. And I was like, I feel like we missed something here. I saw a sign that said there is a shuttle bus that will take you from Terminal 5 to Terminal 3 so that you don't have to do that. Well, we never saw that. So instead, we made our lives miserable by stressing out. And like, it was so crowded in O'Hare yesterday. We had to like say goodbye to Brendan's girlfriend quickly, and we are hauling tail through that airport. My Aura Ring literally thought you know how sometimes it'll guess like what your activity you're doing? It thought I was cycling. That's how fast I was moving through that airport. So we get there and we're like, okay, we got it. But then our flight was delayed 45 minutes. So you know how that goes. Anyway, it was fine. Got back. Everything's good. And it finally feels like fall here. I don't know that we're going to have great color this year, but it's okay because I felt like I got to see it up in Connecticut and I truly enjoyed that. Speaking of fall, okay, I did this Instagram reel the other day. It was just on a whim. It was one of those things I was thinking about. You know how when you go this time of year, especially in September, you go into the stores, every store has so many, it could be Walmart, it could be a grocery store or whatever, but they've all got all the fall flowers, all the mums, so many mums that are for sale everywhere, everywhere. And I love the look of fall flowers. I think it's so festive. For so many years, I have decorated my front porch, my back porch. I've done all of the ornamental kale and the pansies, and I've done everything. And I put like the little gourds or pumpkins and do a whole thing. I love it. I think it's so pretty. This year, I just said, you know what? I'm taking this off my plate. Like, first of all, my garden is still thriving. I have so many tomatoes coming in mid-October. I need somebody that's really into horticulture to explain this to me. What happened this year why I didn't have good tomatoes all summer, and now that we're getting into mid to late October, I'm covered up in tomatoes. I don't understand it at all. But I just thought, I'm so busy. I've got so much travel. It's been so hot in Southern Illinois this October. I'm just like, I just can't do it. I just didn't even want to. The desire was not there. I'm not going into the pressure I just thought, what are you doing? Like, so I just made this Instagram reel. It's literally me standing in front of my porch, selfie style, holding the camera. And I just said, you know what? This year I made the brave and bold decision to just not buy one fall flower. I didn't plant any mums, nothing. Nothing. It's just, I didn't, you know what, guys? I didn't even put my doormat. Hello. I didn't even put my fall one out that says, something cute about pumpkins. And, oh, it says, hey there, pumpkin. I didn't even put that out this year. Yeah, nothing. Now, I did put some fall decorations like in my kitchen, but that's about it. And I just thought, I don't know. I think it was the sentiment behind my reel was really just me saying like, it's like I'm allowing myself to take something off of my plate. Yes, this is something that I like and I think it looks great. I'm so glad other people do it. But for me right now, this is not serving what I need. It's adding extra stress to my life and it's going to be something else I have to deal with later. And it's something I'm going to have to water all the time. And my husband's going to be like, what are you doing especially when I go back to Florida in November and they just don't even last that long. Like, why am I putting this pressure on myself? So I just threw that reel up there. Oh my gosh. Let me pull up my phone and see. This is what kind of makes me laugh about social media. You just never know what's going to hit with some people. Let me look at this. I'm going to pull this up and see what this is doing right now. Okay. So at this point, it's got almost 400,000 views. Okay. And the amount of comments are hilarious. So funny. Okay. So I asked them, maybe it's because I did a poll on it. I can't even find where that is now. But I ask people if they're still into it or not. Now, oh yeah, 2,000 people have taken this poll. 64% of the women said no more. And 36% of the women said, I still love them. Okay. Love that, you know? Now, I have some of my, like my family. Well, my cousin, who's my age, she lives in Houston, and she's like, "You are so wise. It's been so hot here that all of my moms have died twice already," which I thought was so funny. But the unhinged comments. Most people, like 99% of the women that are commenting on this, are like, "Girl, me too. Been done with those for a while," or "I feel the exact same way." Blah blah blah. Fine. And I'm not here to just want people to agree with me, but some of these comments from these ladies are unhinged. This one woman said, "You're in for a joyless life." Okay. Okay. Another one said, "I work for a flower breeder of these crops. For the love of all things holy, buy the mums. These are valuable garden plants and decor items. Please support horticulture. It's an industry that is steadfast and intrinsically good." Okay, well, I had to comment back on that because I was like, girlfriend, I have supported the horticulture. I have I have supported this industry more than the average gal for over 25 years. Like my entire adulthood, I buy flowers, like annual flowers, and I'm super into them. I have a garden. Like I do this. This year, I'm just like I can't do it. That's it. Someone else said, "So, imported plastic from China instead of supporting US agriculture." Got it. Okay, I don't know where I mentioned plastic. Then here's my favorite one. "She spent her mom's money on new boobs." What? I had a workout top on, and I guess she could see my big, giant, saggy boobs. Okay, well, I'll take the compliment. Thank you. People are unhinged. That's just the tip of the iceberg. What are we doing, ladies? So, of course, I look up these women's profile. What are they thinking? I'm going to tell you, most of the time that I get rude messages, these are women that are about 10 years older than me by when I look at the photo. And I don't know if they just are like, I don't know if they're lonely. I don't know if they are just really unhappy, if it's just they don't know how social media works. I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's honestly crazy. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Which reminds me, there was another that's come across my social media. So there's a makeup artist that some women are just will leave the rudest comment to her and about her looks and about her makeup that she does. And it's so rude. And so what she does is she has the comment that this person has made. So she has a screen grab of their so rude, like daggers, awful comment. While that is up on the screen, she's showing herself putting on makeup, and you're like, wait a minute, what is she doing? Because the makeup is insane, where she's completely changing her looks. She's totally, and then at the very end, and then she makes this crazy face when she's completely done with her makeup. I mean, it completely transforms her face. She doesn't even look like herself anymore. And then it flashes to the person that made the comment. And let me tell you, the woman is not attractive ever. And they look terrible. And it's so funny because they're railing on her and how she looks. And she's like a lovely looking, I mean, a nice looking woman. And these unhinged, so awful, mean women are calling her out. And I love that she's clapping back so hard at them and making fun of them. It's so funny. But yeah, she totally transforms herself to look like them with this awful look on their face that's their profile photo. Anyway, kudos to her. I need to find out who she is. And it's like I've seen it twice, but I haven't saved her account. I wish I would have so that you could go look at it because it is pretty hilarious. It's really funny. Okay, I wanted to give some updates on what's going on with Faster Way, and also there's been a little controversy about my favorite protein powder that I want to clear up with you. Okay, so Faster Way 3-week reset, the 21-day reset. My first group is in it and they are doing fantastic. That is, it's like my favorite. My next one is going to be starting on November 3rd. November 3rd is my next 3-week reset. I'm loving the timing of this because let's talk about it. If you look at your calendar, November 3rd, that's a Monday, right? And then you've got Thanksgiving is on the 27th. Okay. So you've got one, two, you have 3 full weeks, first 3 weeks of November to do this reset. You have nothing stopping you. This is my favorite time. This is my anniversary round. Okay. Let me take you back to 2018. 2018, Jill tried the faster way. I was already working in a gym. I was already teaching all of the classes. I was already doing all the things. And I was feeling worse. I wasn't feeling better. And that was when, on a whim, I was like, you know what? I saw someone that I had known do the faster way and saw her before and after photos and was like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm just not going to tell anybody. And it changed my life. And since then, I've been able to change over 1,000 women's lives. And it is incredible. So it's my anniversary round. I love this time of the year. I think it's super important to get intentional with your nutrition before you let Thanksgiving and Christmas take you down take you down a dark path so that you wake up on, I don't want you waking up on January 1st, 2nd, 3rd and being like, oh, you're just feeling so negative and then slipping into that. I feel like I need to do something extreme now in January to then just get on this vicious cycle. I don't want you gaining 5 pounds every holiday season. And I feel like if we could reset your habits before Thanksgiving, you're going to notice a huge shift in your taste buds, for one, that what you normally thought you were craving, you're not going to be craving anymore, that you'll be able to stay more on task because you're going to learn how to track your macronutrients. You're going to learn that it's not just calories in, calories out. It's really about what kinds of food, the quality of the food that you're putting into your body. And you're going to learn that working out is not extreme. We don't need to be driving to these insane and going to these crazy classes that are so depleting and spiking your cortisol. And like, it doesn't have to be this huge ordeal in your life. You're going to do the same workouts that I do in this area right behind me. 30 minutes. That's all I do, you guys. I don't do these crazy workouts. I do workouts that make me feel really good, really strong, that have given me muscle definition, that it's like the body's own set of Spanx. It's our natural Spanx, putting that lean muscle tissue on the body. So I'm super excited about it. It's going to start on November 3rd. Check out the show notes for more details about the 3-week, the 21-day reset with the faster way. And then also, we have a new product that's coming out. I'm getting ready to hop on a call when I get off of this to learn more about Faster Way Greens. We have a new greens powder that's going to be coming out soon. I'm so pumped for this. Faster Way does have some incredible supplements that I take. And I always tell my clients, like, you don't have to take every supplement that ever comes out. You decide like what is important to you. If I had to rate the supplements, I would tell you that I feel like creatine is the number one supplement that I would absolutely recommend. I think creatine is so important for us because muscle is truly the fountain of youth. Muscle is what is going to bring that metabolism back. Muscle is going to help you age better. You're going to look better. Your metabolism is going to be better. It just makes everything in your life better if you can put some muscle on. Okay. Creatine is going to help you do that. Plus, there's been studies now showing that it's great for brain cognition. Okay. So creatine is going to always be my number one. And I guess I do take the faster way creatine. We've got a flavored and an unflavored version. The flavored version has vitamin C in it, which I think is great for this time of year. But also you can just take the unflavored one and you work out and then you just not take a quick shot back of your creatine. You just dissolve it in a little cup of water. Creatine, you do want to be making sure that you are very hydrated. For somebody that cannot drink half your body weight in ounces of water a day, well, then I wouldn't recommend it for you, honestly. But you all should be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every day. And I love it so much. I'll link that up in the show notes as well. But That's the one that I'm like, yes, that's the gold star. You should be taking it. The other ones are great if you do, fine if you don't. Like I take BCAs, branched chain amino acids, but I just love the taste of ours and it helps me drink more water. I'll be honest. Like that's why I take those. I think it's like the best tasting thing ever. So it helps me drink my water and it's good for me. I drink our flavored collagen because I really want to have great skin, hair, nails, joint support, ligaments, all that. Like, and I know that I don't get much collagen in my normal daily intake. You know, we're not eating like the skin off of chicken anymore. So think about like, I like taking collagen for those reasons. And it tastes great. Again, my strawberry lemonade collagen that I'm obsessed with the faster way, it helps me drink my water. I can drink over 100 ounces of water a day without even, like, it's not a big deal to me at all. If I'm out and I'm working out and I'm playing hours of pickleball, I'm getting super sweaty, I will drink our hydration. I love the Faster Way hydration. Has that perfect blend of salty and sweet to it. And again, I put that in my water, but these are all things you can take. Doesn't mean you have to take them all, but we offer all of these because we've had so many people asking, like, I mean, I'm sure you've seen other greens powders out there that people are taking. So why not us? Why not us? And we can do this and make it because people are asking for it. But the greens powders are really going to help with energy, digestion, inflammation. You know, it's going to have probiotics and enzymes for better gut health. But I'm going to learn everything about it on this call that I'm getting ready to hop on. So I'm really excited about that. Now, finally, I want to talk to you today about a little controversy about the Equip protein powder. Let's chat about this because I do think this is really important. And I want to make sure that you know that every product that I recommend to you, that I fully believe in it. Okay. Now, Consumer Reports came out well, I guess with the report. And basically, it was on October 14th. They published an article that tested 23 protein powders for heavy metals. And they noted that the Eclipse Prime protein, the chocolate, was safe to consume occasionally. Okay. Obviously, this is something that has raised a lot of eyebrows. And we're like, okay, wait a minute. What? So I did reach out to Equip. I'm like, I want to talk about this. And I feel very good about what they told me, and it makes a lot of sense. Okay. First of all, heavy metals in foods, it's definitely a very real industry-wide issue, and Equip does hold themselves to a standard that exceeds both FDA and the Proposition 65 requirements. The article in Consumer Reports missed some things. They only tested their chocolate flavor. Now, chocolate contains real cocoa, okay? Their ingredients in Equip, which is why I like it so much, it's only real ingredients. But cocoa is a crop that naturally absorbs trace minerals like lead, cadmium from soil, just like spinach, beets, and carrots, okay? Other brands in the article were tested on unflavored or vanilla versions. So, like, we're not comparing apples to apples here. So I find that really annoying. Okay. Also, they tested the 2024 lots, not their current production. I think that's important to note. This is a company that gets third-party tested on every lot they use a company called Light Labs. This is an accredited facility. And if you look at the most recent results, the current chocolate lot, so from September of 2025, there was 11.5 parts per billion lead, less than half of what Consumer Reports reported, which was 27 parts per billion. So the unflavored lot has less than 1.96 parts per billion, which is the lowest amount that testing can detect. So this is just to show you, that shows you what the difference is between a cocoa-based product versus other flavors or non-flavored. Okay? All products tested under 19 parts per billion in the Consumer Reports study, and all are deemed safer to consume daily. All right? So just to give you an idea, like the reliance on on soil influences testing results in certain flavors of finished supplemental products. So chocolate flavors coming from real cocoa beans will naturally be higher in trace minerals than vanilla, strawberry, or unflavored. That's really important to know. But like, think about this. Lead values shown in parts per billion for these vegetables or fruits. So one beet has 25 parts per billion, one carrot, 19 parts per billion, one sweet potato, 15 parts per billion, one tomato, 19 parts per billion. One, okay, scoop of your prime protein, the unflavored, has less than 1.96 parts per billion. One scoop of the prime protein chocolate has 11 parts per billion. That is less than one sweet potato. That is less than one tomato. That's way less than one beet and less than one carrot. So I think it's really important to know that they are testing and they are aware. And it is like, you have to think about it in the, I guess, the Consumer Reports article. They didn't compare apples to apples. And they're also not like taking into consideration, like, okay, well, what real whole foods? Like, we would never say, like, don't eat carrots, don't eat beets. But this company, because anytime I'm putting my name behind a company, I want you to know that I totally believe in them. They don't just test for heavy metals, okay? They do comprehensive testing on, in addition to heavy metals, they're checking for microplastics, they're checking for pesticides and glyphosate, they're looking at mold, they're looking at, oh my gosh, microbiological, like they're committed to ongoing optimization of the supply chain and the sourcing. Okay. So I just wanted to say that because I am an affiliate for Equip, and I want you to know that I'm aware of that article, but I still consume it and I totally believe in it. And I don't think that you should be freaked out by it at all. Other like Ancient Nutrition, who else was on that one, on that list of theirs? Orgain was on there. And again, they weren't comparing in terms of Equip, they definitely weren't choosing like apples to apples, which I find so discouraging because we want to look at Consumer Reports as something we can really trust. And I don't know why they would have done it that way. I really don't. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? So we can't compare like a vanilla to a chocolate or an unflavored to a chocolate because, again, the natural cocoa beans are going to absorb more trace minerals from the soil. But if you look at what you're getting this year, it's already way lower than what they reported in 2024. So I think we can feel really good about that. I know I do, but I just want to make sure that you do as well. All right. And also, if you've never ordered, I'm going to put the link below. I use it on a daily basis. I give it to my children. My kids use the same protein powder, and I give it to my husband as well. I feel really good about it, and I think you should too. All right, you guys, thanks so much for being here today. And I hope you have a great week. Hope it's wonderful fall weather where you are. And whether you decorated your porch or not, I'm here for it. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Live Your Best Midlife. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that follow button. And if you want to help more people discover my podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to leave a rating and a review. Your feedback not only brightens my day, but it helps others to find my show. And if you're craving some more behind the scenes action, follow me on TikTok at Jill Lewis Living or on Instagram at Jill B. Lewis.